we believe that he is a violence producer from the community of Gold Mine in Clarendon. He has been featured in at least 3 murders and 2 shootings in the past year, most recently being September 7, when he engaged the St. Catherine North police in a shootout, after which he went to Rock River, Clarendon, and it is believed that he committed a murder there some hours after. He has been on the police radar. He has been the subject of numerous police operations, and he was creating havoc in the Bellas Gate space. We are satisfied that he was the person, even though we are waiting on the official identification to understand.
Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The voice that you just heard is of SSP of the St. Catherine area. His name is Hopetoun Nicholson. He is describing a young man known in the street as Magadog, crime producer. He is talking about the latest incident that took place in a place called Bellas Gates, where it is said that at about 9:20 to be specific, patrons were at an establishment, a bar, when Mr. Magadog walked in. People know the face, people know the reputation. It is said that Magadog wheel and pop off his stool, sending the people in a frenzy. It is said that the people decided that, listen, don't know if they were under the influence of J-Ray and Nephew or whatever it was. They decided that this is going to be the last day, the last paradas as it pertains to Magadog. It is said that some sorts of tussle ensued and they disarmed Magadog. While he was being disarmed, him let off one can that hit a man known as Zungo or Zeng in the upper torso. After he did that, the people went outside after disarming him and giving him some proper clothing, some royal beatdown. They then went outside and commenced to flinging all sorts of half a block, all sorts of brick, all sorts of rock in his head. People, it was a BLOODY mess. After them finished taking him out in a very brutal way, they then called the Popo. The Popo rushed both of them to the hospital. However, both men would have succumbed to their injuries. As a matter of fact, Magadog was DEAD on the spot. DEAD like a dog in the street, the same type of person that he is. So based on the Popo report like you hear, this man is a known violence producer. This man engaged the Popo in some sorts of pie out. This man's name has been called up in at least 3 murders, several pie outs. As a matter of fact, you heard the Popo say as late as September 2024. After some sorts of pie out with the Popo, he then left and he took away a man. Now, like I said, people, this man was no sort of stranger to the residents in Bellas Gate, because according to their account, it was the same Magadog that took away a man known as Rasta. Maybe about a week or so ago, he then left and he went to Clarendon and he committed a couple other atrocities, meaning crime. He then came back. However, they were waiting for him and justice was served. It is only sad that Zeng had to also lose his life in this tussle. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, if you've been keeping up on crime in Manchester, Clarendon area, we see the place kind of broke out like so. Well, Clarendon has always been a bad hotspot when it pertains to crime. However, places like Mandeville, Manchester, not so bad. However, those places have changed drastically for the worse. So we saw that the Popo, their intention was to put down their foot, put a stoppage to this crime, tame the crime monster like they said. So therefore, they've launched several operations looking for persons who are mostly transplant, meaning from Montego Bay, meaning from Westmoreland, all sorts of crime hotspot that moves into Mandeville, moves into Manchester, and creating all sorts of chaos and catastrophe. Based on what the DSP Kerry Duncan said, they launched one of such operations on Tuesday at about 5 a.m. crack of dawning. This operation was targeting persons of interest, suspect, persons that are known crime producer that transplant from other hot volatile areas. On one such operation, the target was a person known as Javon Blake O.C. Baller. It is said that, based on what the DSP said, when they pull up on that targeted premises, a couple of men run through the back door. When those men were running through the back door, they then start to blaze up all sorts of corn after the po-po, and people, you know that cliche script. The po-po defended themselves, wheel and pop off, blaze up some corn after the smoke clear. Mr. Baller was seen bawling, begging for his life. However, he was turkey rush, and you know the rest is history. So I want you to take a look to exactly what the DSP Kerry Duncan had to say about that situation, and then I am going to give my piece.
This operation was conducted in an effort to apprehend some persons of interest to us, as also some wanted persons. On the approach of the targeted premises, two men who were armed with firearms exited the building through a back door. Both men opened gunfire in the direction of the police. The police, in defense of their lives, responded by returning gunfire in their direction. When the shooting subsided, one man was found suffering from what appeared to be gunshot injuries, and one 9mm semi-automatic pistol was recovered. The Manchester Police remains resolute in taming this crime monster in the parish. We also won't relent in pursuing the persons whom the evidence or intelligence suggests to us are the persons who are committing these atrocities. Wherever you are within this parish, we will be coming for you. How you are apprehended is totally dependent on how you respond to us.
So people, you heard what the good DSP had to say. Persons are complaining. It seems as if when the residents do the risk analysis, they must say to themselves, well, when these criminal elements come, then buy out the bar, then buy out the shop. So therefore, the proceeds of crime is circling around in the era. However, when them do the pros and the cons, with all this money comes more problem, more persons are lose them life, more persons are get caught up, so therefore we need to get rid of them and get our once tranquil community back to where it was. So the Popo put out the warning, and some of these persons, specifically Javon Blake, he did not take heed. He had a choice whether he was going to turn in himself or be arrested, Fatally. He decided to take the latter, and it cost him his life. Luckily for his friend escaped, take himself running on some sorts of adjoining bushes. However, like them say, sooner or later, karma is going to catch up to him. Javon Blake did not have such luck. He did not take the opportunity when it was given to him. He took the wrong choice, and that wrong choice sent him to the afterlife. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on a topic that has been buzzing all over social media, where a Jamaican athlete, Janelle Bromfield, female athlete that is, living overseas, training overseas, she happens to be the girlfriend of Jamaican #1 hated athlete in America, Noah Lyles. So we know some people don't like him, and it seems as if based on the fact that she is associated with him, based on the fact that there was some sorts of information leaking, that she was giving information to Noah Lyles, specifically the American athletes, and it would have been devastating for the female athletes of Jamaica. So she was deemed to be some sorts of traitor. Now, based on what this young lady is saying, based on an interview that she did with Sim Soul Session, that lady went to America to interview her because she claims that her life is in danger and she's fearful of her life if she returns to Jamaica. Now, people like me say, when I first heard it, I thought that, yeah, the people in Jamaica have a right for kind of dislike her. However, it was not that serious. It was kind of petty. But people, you know, Jamaican people stay as it pertains to sport. If somebody is deemed to be some sorts of enemy, then they are going to be public enemy in a Jamaica numero uno. So when I listened to this young lady in this interview, I had an open mind. I said, I am going to block out what persons are saying, whatever is circulating all over social media. And yes, when I listened, I said, say, this little young girl went through a whole bunch of emotional, traumatizing stuff. She lost her mother. She lost her brother. She lost an ex-family member in a very short space of time. So therefore, she would have been going through a whole lot. And it is a lot of pressure for a young girl to bear. I also listened and I wanted to hear the type of relationship that she had with Noah Lyles. And people, when I listened to that interview, if what she is saying is the truth, Noah Lyles is probably better than most Jamaicans, more supportive than most Jamaicans that I know, generally speaking. His mother is even more supportive than a lot of family members that I know personally. And if you ask most Jamaicans, they will tell you the same. So pretty much she said that she met Noah Lyles maybe 2016, at least 2017. And he was always been very supportive. Most importantly, he introduced her to his mother, and his mother was also very supportive. As a matter of fact, the mother took her in, rent-free, none at all she had to pay. This mother even brought her to training, which was about 45 minutes from the house in which they were staying, in which they live. That mother, somebody that she just knew through Noah, meaning Noah's mother, took her to training, 45 minutes to the training, wait for her to train for a couple of hours, and then took her back 45 minutes again. So people are talking about at least 3-4 hours every day without any sorts of frown upon her face. So I said to myself personally, and if you ask most Jamaicans, do you have family member if you leave from Jamaica and go live overseas, whether a Canada, whether a US, whether a UK? Would your family member be this supportive? Maybe for a couple of days, maybe for a week, maybe for a month. However, not for years, not for 1 year would they do that. They will tell you that, listen, the number 5 or the number 10 bus take you to your destination and take you back, so therefore find your way. As a matter of fact, most persons are not going to put you up in their house for years. After about 2 weeks or 2 months or so, you would have exhausted your stay. So people, when we think about the fact that this youth is supporting her, this youth's family is supporting her, do you think that these people are as bad as people make them out to be, if she is indeed telling the truth? Now, the problem that I had with this interview, I am kind of thinking about her ulterior motive, why she claims that her life is in danger if she goes back to Jamaica. Now, people, this lady was not involved in any sorts of case. This lady was not any sorts of key witness. This lady simply said something on social media, in which, social media, people are keyboard gangsters. They will say just about anything. However, most of them should not be taken seriously. So therefore, I say this to say that this child's life is not in any sorts of imminent danger. So I have to ask, what is the reason why she say this? Is there some sorts of ulterior motive? Is she seeking some sorts of asylum from the U.S. government, customs and immigration enforcement? And then I think to myself, if this is indeed her man for a couple of years, 2017, we are now in 2024, he should easily marry to her and give her her paper. However, people, as it pertains to marriage, especially if you are a Christian, that is a big step. So therefore, maybe he might be thinking, yes, I like her a whole lot. However, would I take this lady for my wife? That is a question for him to decide. That is yet to be determined. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, the people of the Bible, they are saying it seems as if Jamaicans need to repent because God is sending some sorts of sign And this is based on a whole bunch of flooding that we see taking place all over the island. I am going to show you one specific case in South Manchester where for about an hour the rain fall and the whole place flood out. People have to run for them life. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
This is the main road from Krasky to Resource. Cocoa Hag. It's the main road. Clean. Peer rain. Gully come down around here, so. But you want the water come over here? Me set them quite wall tall and the water come over it. Okay. Yo, the wall around a mall is impossible. That means me can't back up plun turbo, you know? I want to see where him a go do. Watch this here, idiot.
So people, like I said, that was in South Manchester. Nobody can cross it, only who can understand it. There's also a whole bunch of flooding in an alligator pond. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece. So people, like the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth a gazillion words. Is this the act of nature or is this the act of God? Let me know what you think in the comment section. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.